Called it a master's in fine arts.
Business school.
Physics and philosophy.
All names for the same multi-billion-dollar racket, graduate school.
What's up guys, Felicia here. Welcome back to the channel. So every day you pretty much see a variation of the video you just saw or an article telling you why your college is a scam, especially higher ed or grad school, because it's not worth the money. Now what I want to do in this video is react to one of those articles, specifically by Business Insider, giving you 40 reasons why you shouldn't go to grad school. And from a grad student perspective, I'm going to rank each of the 14 reasons they give out of 10. If it's 1 out of 10, you should consider that as garbage, and if it's 10 out of 10, you should probably look into it more if you are trying to go to grad school. Stay tuned as well. I'll give you one reason why you shouldn't go to grad school and one reason why you should go to grad school. Now, if you like videos like this, do consider giving this video a like and also subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Without much ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so although there are 14 reasons, I'm going to react to 10 of them and leave the 4 as honorable mentions. So just a heads up. Also, I've linked the article in the description down below. You can take a look as we do this. So the first one is that it takes a long time to finish. And yes, it is true. It takes a long time to finish. I mean, PhDs are usually between 5 to 7 years. I've seen some people still doing their PhD after 7 years, and I don't know why. Though it is true that it takes a long time to finish, but if you have like priorities set and you always checking in with your research advisor, most likely you finish on time and you don't have to worry about funding and extending your time to like 7 or 8 years. I'll rate that like an 8 out of 10 because it is true in sense, but it also depends on the student's part. So the next reason is that there are very few jobs on the market. And I wouldn't necessarily say that is true. One, if you look at the statistics, you see that there are a lot more PhD jobs that are available than undergrad jobs or even people from high school jobs. Now, remember, in the new age that we are getting into, a lot of these jobs that high schoolers are doing will be replaced soon. And which people will be doing the coding and like coming up with the new ideas or making this new machinery to replace these jobs? PhD students or master student, grad students. So there isn't very few jobs. There's a lot of jobs that are available on the market. So I'll rate that like a 2 out of 10 because it's garbage. So now the next one is that it's very, very hard. And yeah, it's higher education. You're trying to make new things or at least develop on a new concept. It's gonna be very hard to do that. There's a lot of trial and error in that. It is very hard. That is very true. I rate that 10 out of 10. But I also want to give this advice that if you're doing something you actually like doing, it's less harder. For instance, in my situation, I like coding a lot. I like a lot of CS stuff. I don't like wet lab, like bio wet lab stuff. So I talked to my PI and I'm like, hey, I don't like this, but this is my stronghold. This is what I like doing. Can you do something about it? And he was like, yeah, I have this project. You can work on this, and it's going pretty well. So doing what you love is going to make it significantly less harder. So yeah, just a pro tip to anyone who wants to go into like the research field. Do what you like. Just don't do it because your lab is funding it and you have no choice, but because of the money. So the fourth point is that there's a psychological cost in that sometimes students spend like years of their life on one work and just to find out that there's no practical applications in the field that they are trying to break into. And this is true. And I don't blame the students. I blame the PIs because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are funding this research work, and they mostly tend to focus on theory, the theoretical part of the entire thing, and which is not great. So before you go into any research or accept an offer to do any research or buy a PI, make sure you're looking at what exactly that PI is doing. Is it like just theory that has no merit in their like real world? If that is the case, you should probably reconsider your decision or try to reach out to other professors within the institution to see if they can accept you into their lab. Because else you'll be stuck in the same research that you're doing and the PI is the one funding you. So you pretty much have little to no say in what kind of research you want to do. The PI is going to push it on you. Make sure you are looking at the professors before you go and accept an offer from them. So yeah, I'll rate this a 9 out of 10. So the fifth point is that respect for the academic profession is declining. I don't know why anyone would go into a grad program to gain respect. I personally am here to at least help pioneer the next generation in research that can at least help human lives. I'm not here to seek anyone's respect because at the end of the day, it's you and your research. Whether you're getting respect or not is going to be based on your research. So yeah, I don't think that actually it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna give it like a 1 out of 10 because they tried to reference this sitcom called Community. If anyone has watched it, comment down below what it is. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they tried to make a reference to that and make the argument. But I don't think people should be going to grad school to seek respect. At the end of the day, again, you are doing it because you want to make people's lives better. That's all. At least that's my goal here. So yeah, 1 out of 10. So the fifth point is that adjuncthood awaits, and for anyone who doesn't know what it is, like there are adjunct professors in school. They are very like low paid professors. So you're saying that people, because the what do you call it, the university is pretty much choked and you only get tenured if someone retires. You mostly be an adjunct in the university for a long time. What I want to say is this is a flawed theory because they are assuming that everyone who goes to do a PhD goes there because they want to have a profession in higher ed. Some people do that, and that is true, but at the end of the day, you cannot just generalize it. A lot more people actually get out from the PhD programs and go into the industry to make their industry better. That's the whole point of trying to gain knowledge or do research independently so you can make whatever industry you are working like the research is related better. I'll rate this like a 3 out of 10 in the sense that some students do go to become adjunct professors or normal professors, but a lot more people go to do a PhD and then gain that knowledge to get into their industry and make it better. That's all. So the next point is my favorite point, that funding is fleeting. And this is very true because remember, a lot of students want to at least do a PhD or do a funded research or fully funded research, right? The funding is only coming from the institution or usually sometimes grants, but they will usually not give you a grant until you've proven yourself. So this is like a 10 out of 10 most from my perspective because this is true. There's like the struggle to get funded, to get a funded research. So always it's like have to be a little bit cutthroat in the institution, but well, just do your research, talk to your PI about the finances. Your PI will most likely be the one who's like bringing in the funding rights and the research grants. So talk to him about any funding issues. Sometimes PhD students just get 1 year of funding, and then within that 1 year, the PI looks at them, looks at, okay, do they have a potential to actually contribute something? And then they give you that additional funding. So that 1 year is like a probationary period, make it count. But yeah, funding is indeed fleeting, 10 out of 10. So the next point is that marriage and family usually awaits. And the reasoning here is that if you're spending that amount of years in research, like if you're not married at that point and you're done, you usually most likely be broke. That's the reason here. And being broke, no one is going to be marrying you if you're broke. So yes, that's the reason here. Now here's my take. I'm not married yet, so maybe my theory may be flawed, but what I know is that when you complete your PhD, there's a higher chance of you getting a higher, like, fully funded job. And the fact that they're saying that because of debt from the PhD, which is also flawed, because most PhDs, again, are funded. If your PhD is not funded, probably don't do that. You're doing it wrong. Just try and get funding. That's what I'm gonna say. If you guys want to learn about how to get funding, comment down below. I'll do a video about it. But do not do an unfunded PhD. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, you are working for the school. You're teaching. If you make something or discover something in the university will claim it as theirs. So make sure you're being funded by a PhD. It's not worth it to do an unfunded PhD. I can tell you that. So I'll probably rate that a 6 out of 10 from my perspective. I'm not married yet, so I don't know how it feels like graduating from a PhD broke. Because again, you gotta be funded. So the ninth point here is fellowships are few and far between, and that is true. Like, so your normal scholarship is what? It lets you have this requirement of GPA and whatnot, right? For fellowships, think of it as free money. Although some fellowships do have certain requirements. Fellowships are usually just gifts that they give to grad students to further their research. You don't have to meet any requirements and whatnot. So that's what makes it a little bit competitive, because then it's free money. Everyone wants to apply. Also, I think there's also a tax advantage over there. So yeah. Anyway, let's go on. So a lot of people applied, and because there are very few of them, it's very hard to get it. I'll give this a 9 out of 10 because it's very true. There are very few fellowships available, and a lot of people apply. If you're applying for a fellowship, please make sure your research is top notch. So the last point is that there's a psychological cost for quitting, and because you have to explain to your friends why you quit your PhD program, and most likely they'll be considering you a failure. And it's a real thing that happens in society. I'll give this a 9 out of 10 because it's very true. So what I want to say is, if you see anyone who's quit their PhD, please give them some respect, or a master's program, give them some respect. They've been through a whole lot of things that you probably haven't seen half of, so give them some respect. Some people also quit PhDs to do something way better. I've seen people quit their PhDs because they actually maybe running a $1 million, multi-million-dollar startup that is helping the world become a better place. In that case, you don't need the PhD to make the world a better place. You're already making the world a better place. So quitting will be a really good idea, or the right idea to do. At the end of the day, research and whatnot is still gonna be there forever. So doing that startup that you love better than the research is most likely the right way to go. 9 out of 10 seems like a fair ranking for this one. All right, so this is where I'll end the video. I did tell you that I'll give you one reason why you shouldn't go to grad school, and one reason why you should go to grad school. Now, one reason why you should go to grad school is if you are interested in research, want to explore a certain area of research, or want to contribute something, you've seen something in the research area that you are very interested in. Do try and get funding for it, get into a PhD program, master's program, get funding for it, do that research you want, and then see what you come out with. Maybe you get good result, maybe you don't. It's just the aspect of research. It's all part of it. So do take a look at it. Now, one reason why you shouldn't go to grad school is if you're doing it for free. Don't do it for free. Grad school, you are doing it for the university has to pay you. In as much as it's very low, you shouldn't do it for free. At the end of the day, like I mentioned in the video, if you discover something new, the university is going to claim it as their own. Although your name is going to be part, it's going to list so and so university, and then comma your name. You probably be an et al. If anyone who is in a grad school program get the joke. But yeah, don't do it for free. So that's one reason why you shouldn't go to grad school. Anyway, this is why I end the video. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and also subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And I will see you guys in the next video.